Level 1. The village. You are 8 years old, somewhere in rural England, 1600. The village has one well, one church, and one explanation for everything that goes wrong. Bad harvest. Someone's fault. Dead cow. Someone's fault. The miller's boy stops breathing in the night, and by morning the women are already looking at each other sideways. Your mother is known for her herbs. She grows them in a clay pot on the window ledge. Lavender, rue, wormwood. She uses them for fevers and toothaches and a kind of quiet pain that has no name. The neighbors come to her when the physician is too expensive and too far. They always come. They always will. You learn the names of every plant before you learn to read. You do not yet know that knowledge can be a sentence. Level 2. The cold shoulder. You are 19. Your mother is 3 years in the ground. You inherited the pot, the herbs, and the reputation that came with both. The widow Marsh's goat dried up in March. She has been watching your window ever since. You keep your curtains drawn. You lower your eyes when you pass the men outside the alehouse. You speak carefully. You smile carefully. You exist carefully. None of it is enough. Careful was never going to be enough. The village has a memory like a wound, and your family name is already inside it. Level 3. The accusation. You are 19 still. July, 6 weeks after midsummer. The goodwife Holt's daughter stopped eating. She flinches at shadows. She screams at the ceiling in the night. The physician arrives from the next town, examines her for 20 minutes, and leaves with no answer and a full purse. The goodwife needs an answer. The whole village needs an answer. Unanswered things rot. The physician rides home. The finger starts moving before he reaches the crossroads. It lands on you. Someone saw you speaking to your own reflection in a puddle. Someone saw you touch the Holt girl's wrist at the market 3 weeks ago. Someone saw something. There is always someone who saw something. The constable comes to your door before supper. Level 4. The questioning. You are still 19. The room smells like tallow candles and damp stone. A magistrate sits across a table that is too wide to reach across. He has done this before. You can tell by the way he holds his quill. He does not look up when he speaks. He asks if you have made any compact with the devil. You say no. He writes something. He asks if you have caused harm to any person through unnatural means. You say no. He writes something. He asks about the herbs. You explain them one by one. Lavender, rue, wormwood. He writes while you speak. You cannot see what he is writing. That is the point. Confession is the destination. The questions are only the road. Level 5. The search. You are still 19. 2 women are sent to examine your body for the witch's mark. A mole, a scar, an extra fold of skin where a familiar spirit might feed. You stand in the cold and say nothing while they work through you inch by inch like customs officers at a gate. They find a small dark mole on your left shoulder. You have had it since birth. Your mother had the same one. They write it down. They nod at each other. You watch their faces and understand that it was never going to matter what they found or didn't find. They came looking for proof. They will leave with proof. They always do. Level 6. The water. The swimming test. They bind your right thumb to your left toe. Your left thumb to your right toe. They wrap a rope around your waist. The water is the color of iron in August. Cold as January anyway. The logic is simple and airtight and completely mad. If you sink, you are innocent. If you float, the water has rejected you the way baptism rejects the devil, and you are guilty. You go in. The rope is held by a man on the bank. You go under. The cold is absolute. It reaches your chest before your feet touch the bottom. The rope pulls you up before you drown. You float for 1 moment because the rope holds you. That 1 moment is all they need. They drag you out by your hair. Guilty. The word lands before the water clears your ears. Level 7. The cell. You are still 19. The cell is below the church. Stone walls. Straw on the floor. A bucket in the corner. Sleep deprivation is the formal method. Watchers sit in shifts through the night. Every time your eyes close, someone is there. A voice, a knock, a boot against the door. They are waiting for you to summon something in your sleep, to speak to something that isn't there. 3 days without sleep and the mind begins to produce its own visions. You see your mother at the corner of the cell. You see things moving in the straw. You know they are not real. You are no longer certain. On the 4th morning they ask you again if you have made any compact with the devil. Your mouth answers before your mind does. God forgive you. Yes. They write it down very fast. Level 8. The trial. The court is a room above the market. It is packed to the walls. People you have known your entire life sit in rows with their hands in their laps. The goodwife Holt is there. She does not look at you. The widow Marsh is there. She looks at you the whole time. The magistrate reads the charges. Compact with the devil. Causing sickness in Mary Holt through unnatural means. Possession of herbs used for maleficium. The confession you gave on the 4th night without sleep is read aloud. It sounds nothing like your voice. Everything in the room is already decided. Trials of this kind are not about finding truth. They are about confirming what the village already believes so that everyone can exhale. Level 9. The sentence. Hanging, not burning. England burns far fewer witches than the continent. A small mercy written in the law that you did not know existed until the magistrate read it aloud, as if the method is the thing to hold on to now. Your hands are bound in front of you. You are walked back through the village in the late afternoon light. The same road you have walked 1,000 times to the well and the church and the market. The same faces behind the same windows. One woman crosses herself as you pass. One child stares with his mouth open. A man you have never spoken to spits at the ground near your feet. None of them are monsters. That is the hardest part to hold. None of them are monsters. They are simply afraid, and fear has always needed somewhere to land. Level 10. The morning. You are still 19. Dawn. The oak tree at the edge of the common has held this shape for 200 years. It will hold it for 200 more. The crowd is already gathered. People came in from the surrounding villages overnight. You can see faces from 3 parishes. Your hands are cold. Your mind is very quiet. You think about the clay pot on the window ledge, about lavender and rue and wormwood, about your mother's hands moving through green stems in the early light, about the names of things, about how knowing the names of things was never a danger. It was only ever treated like one. The rope is rough against your neck. The oak tree does not move. The crowd is very still. You close your eyes before they tell you to. You came into this village with nothing but a name and a pot of herbs. You leave it with neither, and now you are history.